All right. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining. I think this is our fifth class. And today we have as an agenda to see how we can configure web servers. We're going to be looking how we can configure web servers. In our last class, we have been talking about simple operations in Linux. We have seen how to create a Linux machine. We have seen how to create a Windows machine. All those EC2 instances at the AWS cloud platform. So I believe a lot of people should be having a lot of difficulties. Declan, you have been having a lot of difficulties within the week. And I think Barton also have been having a lot of difficulties within the week. Please, if there is anything that we can help you right now, just ask your question so we elaborate on it and explain. And as I usually always say, please, your time for studies is when I'm with you right now. When I'm not with you, I am also very, very busy. Any problem, just write to the forum and keep there. When I'm a bit relaxed, I will get to the forum and I'll answer you. So right now, I'm expecting those issues that you guys were facing. At least bring them up now. Let us see what was happening. If you have any question, please raise your hand and then I give you that opportunity. If you have any question, you raise your hand and I give you the opportunity to talk. We're in class now and nobody have a question. When we leave class now, everybody will be trying to get to me to ask a question. Now we are in class. You're open to ask a question, of which we are going to demonstrate it for you. So, all the issues that you have been having, please ask your questions now. All right. I presume everybody is fine and everybody is okay. And I presume everybody is understanding very well.
Uh, can, can you get me?
Declan, your microphone is having a huge problem.
Good evening, bro.
Yeah, good evening. You can go ahead.
Hello,
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead. We are listening.
hello,
We are getting you. We're getting you 5 on 5. Go ahead.
hello. Can you get me?
Seemingly, you cannot get us. Yeah, Declan could not get us, and I'm seeing that he just left. Still having problems with network. I guess we should, by the by so much, I mean, interaction, you should already know how to deal with your network and know which one is the best of your networks. Benz, are you with us? I didn't get a word of what you said. Are you sure your mic is on? I'm not quite sure you guys prepare for your equipments before you enter the class. Your mics are not on. Guys, please, everybody buy a your headsets. Buy headsets just for 1,500 francs. You have good headsets. Headsets for 1,500 francs will lead you, will give you good good volume, and you'll be audible. Yes, Benz, you cannot get you, so just mute. None of us can get you. Adija, can you get me? Adija, are you on? Adija, can you get me? Am I audible? All right. Seemingly nobody is able to talk, and seemingly nobody is capable of responding to me. Then I don't think the class will be interactive. I am just going to go ahead, and I hope that you guys are following, because I see that it is getting difficult for you guys to communicate. And this should sound as a warning when you are before coming to class. Make sure that your mic is okay and you are able to talk. At least I was hearing Adija before the class actually begin. I don't know what is happening now. I don't know what is happening to Adija right now. I was getting you 5 on 5 before the class, but now you can't talk. All right. Okay. Let's see what we need to do as far as web servers are concerned. First question. Please, you guys should mute your mics. Your mics cannot talk, so just mute. Declan, can you mute your mic? Declan, can you please mute your mic? All right, we go ahead. What is a web server actually? When we talk of web servers, what do we mean? What is a web server? Now, if you have your computer, that the computer that you have at home, that is your normal computer. That's your normal desktop computer that you are having at home. Look at, this is a normal laptop computer that we can be having, right? A normal laptop computer, that's a computer. This computer is not a web server, but it will become a web server when a server is installed inside. This computer will be a web server when the application is installed inside. So, what is a web server? Simply put it, a web server is an application that transforms this computer, makes this computer in such a way that pages that you write and keep inside this computer can be accessible from the internet. That somebody from a remote environment can access this computer. Okay, this computer like this is your normal desktop computer, like your laptop that is sitting in front of you. This is your normal laptop computer that is sitting in front of you. Now, when you install a web server inside this computer, the computer becomes a server. When the computer becomes a server, what does that mean? It means that pages that are found inside this computer, videos that are found inside this computer, and maybe music that is found inside this computer in a particular folder would now be accessible to the internet if the computer is on. You keep hearing about our servers are down, our servers are down. When there is a problem, they tell you that the server is down. What is a server? A server is that computer that is having or harboring a server application, and all the necessary pages that needs to be online are located inside that computer. That is a server. That is a server. Is a server the same like a database? No. A server and a database are two different things, but a database can be inside a server, but a server and a database are two different things. So a server is just a simple computer that has been installed with a web server, which now, if you put any web pages inside or normal pages, they can be seen over the internet. So what we are going to be doing now is we are going to be creating a computer like this one. We will be creating a computer of this nature, and then we are going to be installing a web server inside that computer in such a way that we can now access that computer from the internet. That is what we are going to be doing today. That is the meaning of web server, creating web servers. They say a web server is a program that uses HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol. That's the meaning of HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, to serve the files that from web pages to users in response to their request. That means when files are stored inside this computer and the computer is transformed into a web server, then you can now access the computer from the internet. In other words, we are saying that we are building a website inside our computer. Okay, we are just trying to say that we are building a website inside our computer. All right. Examples of web servers. There are different types of web servers. We have Apache HTTP server. We have Internet Information Service. This one belongs to Microsoft. We have Nginx, and then we have HTTPD by Apache. These two are from Apache. This one is from Microsoft, and this one is third party Nginx. So these are all softwares that when you install them inside a computer, that computer becomes a web server. That computer now can be accessible directly from the internet. Okay. What is an HTTPD? Daemon. This is a daemon. Hypertext transfer. Hypertext. What is it? Hypertext transfer protocol. Daemon. Right. Hypertext transfer protocol. Daemon. Is it? The P and the D protocol daemon. This D stands for daemon. It's a software program that runs in the background as a web server. It waits for the incoming server request. The daemon answers the request and serves the hypertext and multimedia documents over the internet using HTTP. Okay. All right. All those were just simply English, let us dive to our console. We are going to first of all start with the Linux machine, and then we are going to do Windows. You will see how Linux is faster to create a machine, by the way, and configure its web server than Windows, please. So let's head over to our console. Here is our AWS console. Let's try to create a Linux machine. The machine will be Linux server. All right. I take AWS Linux. T2 Micro is okay for me with my kernel version. And then at the level of key pair, I like to choose a key pair that I know that is already existing. Then, please, at the level of selecting security groups, I will select an existing security group. Declan, if you are in class, listen very well. I will select my security group that is already existing. The reason I will select my security group that is already existing is because in that security group, I have opened all the ports. But you, if you are not selecting an existing security group, if you are going with creating a new security group, you should make sure that you allow the HTTP port and the HTTPS port. You must allow these two ports. Insofar as it is a web server, then you must allow these two ports, please. But in my own case, I'm selecting in my security group, I have opened all the ports, all. But that is not a good practice, as I told you. I have opened all the ports in this particular security group. Somebody might ask, sir, how do you open all the ports? How can you open all the ports? I thought I showed you how to open all the ports. Please, this is how you open all the ports. If you want to create a security group whereby you have all the ports open, you come down here, you go down to edit, and then you come down to SSH here, and then you will see all traffic. You select all traffic. Okay, you select all traffic, then you have opened all the ports. Okay, that is this in this security group. Now you will never have a problem with connectivity. Those of you that are always having problems with opening the SSH port or opening the RDP port, if you select all traffic to be open, you will not be having a problem with connectivity. Okay, I don't need to create a new security group because I already have one that I've opened all the ports. Okay, 8 GB is okay for me. So we launch. Okay, our instance is up. Here is our instance Linux server. That is the instance that we have just created. This instance takes about 1 minute to be running. Okay, it is already running. So we can connect to our instance using, let's connect to our instance using git bash. I think we already know how to connect using git bash. We already know how to connect to our instances using git bash. You copy your SSH, this SSH command from here, and then you paste in git bash. When we are live, git bash becomes very, very slow. All right, when this comes, you make sure that the head of your git bash is pointing to where your keys are stored. Now you can paste. Forget that when you highlight in the command prompt, it copies automatically. Okay, you paste and then you press enter. They ask you, do you really want to connect? Yes. Okay, I'm now connected to my I am now connected to my Linux machine. All right. The first thing I do is I will move to super user using sudo su hyphen. I am now in super user. Now in super user, what should I do? I want to configure a web server. I'm trying to configure a web server. So in trying to configure a web server, first thing I should do is I should update my repository, right? Sudo yum update. Hyphen y. This y just stands that if there is anything that I need to answer yes, it should just answer yes automatically. Okay, everything is well updated and up to date. That is the first command. I am updating my command. You have it in your notes. These are the commands in your note. Yum update y. The second command now, I am going to install the httpd software package. I'm going to install it right now. I've already updated my yum repository. I want to install now the httpd software package. Here is the command. Okay, yum install httpd-y. That is the command. So I can type the command. I like to always type command because it is good practice. Y. Then you press enter. Your daemon is getting installed. When it finishes installing, the next thing is you move to the particular directory where it has been installed. It has been installed and there is a directory called HTML. That directory is found in www and it is found in the variables directory. Okay, so you change your directory to this location. All right, so I'm gonna change my directory to that location. How do I change my directory? Cd space variables /www/html. Now I am in the directory HTML and we can see it here. Now inside this directory HTML, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a web page. I'm going to create a web page inside this directory. How do I create that web page? The web page is echo. Echo is creating a web page. Now, as I type echo, I open double inverted commas. Anything I type inside here now is going to be what is going to be seen in my website. I can say this is my new web page or website. This is my new website, right? After that, I close the commas and then I give a space / inverted horizontal V and then I save now the file. The way to save the file is index.html. When I run this command, that page will be created. Let me run the command by pressing enter. The page has been created. Next, I'm going to now start the service. service httpd start. That is how to start the service. And when I start the service started successfully. They said redirecting to bin HTML start HTTP service. It started. Next, I am going to check the config and put it on. Check config file httpd and put it on. I have finished configuring my web server. Now, what should I do? How can I get this web server that I've just configured like this? How can I get to the web server? They say you copy your IP address, your public IP address. Let me show you where your public IP address is found. Come to your AWS console, click on the computer that you have just created. This is your public IP address. Okay, this is your public IP address. You copy this public IP address and you paste it on your web browser. If I give you this public IP address, you will see the browser that we have just created. I think you see this is my new website. Okay, this is my new website. So we have created a web page in Linux. Okay, we have created a web page in Linux. Is there anybody that has a question? I doubt if your mics are even working very well. Anybody has a question? Anybody who can talk? Unfortunately, Benz, we can still not get to you. We can still not get you, Benz. It is really getting difficult. I don't know if you really understand what to do in order to talk. Your mic is still not capable of getting to us. All right. So that is our website that we have just created. That is our web page and it is available online. Okay. If I give you my public IP address and you put in your browser, you will see this very web page like this. Okay, you will see it. So we can write anything here. It will be our website. Okay, we can write anything here. It will be our website, but we are not training you. I'm not training you to become website developers. I'm just training you how to configure a web server. All right. We're just learning how to configure a web server, not training you how to become website developers. No. All right. That's how to create a configure a server in Linux. Let us see how to configure a server in Windows. That's the most. I hate Windows because it is too slow. Windows is too slow. Let's create a Windows machine. Now we are creating a Windows server and we are taking Microsoft Windows. And I talked about 2019 being the most stable. Then we can take our T2 micro. There's no problem with that. We take our existing key pair. Then we still decide on our existing security group. And then we have our initial 30 GB. We launch our Windows machine. Our Windows machine is launched. With our Windows machine launch, the next thing now to do is let us see if it is already running. Not yet running.
our Windows. This is the machine that we created. Let's keep refreshing until it starts running. It is already running right now. So we need to connect to the Windows. But in order to connect to the Windows, we need to generate a password. And for us to generate this password, it will take us almost close to 4 minutes, which we are waiting. That's one thing with Windows. You always have to wait. You come to RDP and then you come to get password. But we are told that we need to wait. Please wait at least 4 minutes after launching an instance before trying to retrieve the auto-generated password. One awkward interview that I attended, they asked me that when you create a Windows machine, how many minutes are you going to wait before that Windows machine before you can generate the password of that Windows machine? That's the question I was asked in one interview. When you create a Windows machine, for how long will you wait for the password to be generated? I think we all have the answer. You are going to wait for 4 minutes for the password to get generated. Okay, we wait for 4 minutes. If I click on decrypt password here, you won't see anything. Okay, you won't see anything. So we keep waiting until we are able to not see this. Please wait for at least 4 minutes. If we are not able to see this, then we can now generate our password. But in as much as we keep seeing that we are unable to generate our password, it is still there. We still need to wait. We keep waiting. So you discover that that's the reason why in the cloud, um, most of your systems will be in Linux. Most of your systems will be in Linux. Windows is really, really slow. Windows is ultimately slow. We have to wait after 4 minutes. If you are somebody that is not patient enough, you get frustrated at this level. Or if you are somebody who does not actually know what he is doing, you will start touching things here and right. Okay, we can no more see the waiting for 4 minutes. Therefore, we can now upload our key pair. We can now upload our key pair, and the key pair is a dev key pair, right? Let's upload our key pair. The key pair is the dev key pair. Here it is, PEM. Open. The key pair has been loaded. With the key pair loaded now, we can generate our password. Where do we generate our password? We generate our password by clicking on decrypt password. Okay. When you click on decrypt password, this is a password that has been generated. You copy your password and you keep. That is our password. This is our username. And let's go and see our public IP address. This is our public IP address. Now, we need to connect to our Windows machine. We know that to connect to our Windows machine, we need remote desktop connection. Now you copy your password and you paste. And then show options, copy your username, and you paste. The last thing you need to copy and have handy is your password. Now you click connect here. Now at this level, you are going to paste your password. Make sure your capital locks is not enabled here. If your capital locks is enabled here, you find problem pasting. So make sure your caps is not enabled. Okay. My locking failed. What happened? Did I copy the right password? Copy the right password. I'm not sure I copied the right password. Now it is okay. Okay. We are inside the Windows computer. We want to configure this computer to be a saver. We want to try and configure this computer to be a web saver. While we wait for the computer to adequately boot, okay, we believe the computer has adequately booted. Great. Now, to configure this computer as a web server, you come to the computer icon down here. You click on this icon, the Windows icon, and then you come and select Saver Manager. This is your Saver Manager here. Select Saver Manager. Your Saver Manager starts. When your Saver Manager starts, you again still need to wait. Take a look at this dashboard, this black dashboard. You will see that there is a line that is passing. It is going from left to right. That is, the saver is searching. We are waiting that these boxes, there are only two of them. You will wait until the third box appear here, right? The first one is local server, second one is all servers. We'll wait until the third one appears here before we go ahead. And to show that it is searching, you see one dark line that is passing in this dark area. That dark line is passing. Okay. Now that third box has appeared, which is all servers. When you see this box, all servers, the next place you come to click is, you come and click on add rules and features. Add rules and features. You click there. Now, when you click on add rules and features, you click next until you are moved to server rules. So you come here, you click next. You are down to installation type. You click next again. When you click next again, you move to server selection. And then you click next again, you move to server rules. Okay. You click next, you move from here, down here, down here. When you reach at server rules, then you stop. You come down here. And then you select web server IIS. I click on web server IIS. And then I add features. Click on add features. So we have selected web server IIS and then we have added the features. We click next, 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 next until install comes out. So click next. Again, we click next. It is going to install NetFrame. We click next. Our IIS is going to be installed. Click next. We have this install has not yet come out. We still click next. Install now is highlighted. So we click now install and we wait. Look at starting installation, feature installation. So installation is started. Okay, the installation is going on. So our Microsoft web server is being installed. It will be installed in a particular location inside the Dixie, and we are going to go to that location, and then that is where we are going to be configuring our web pages. We are going to go to that location, and there we will be configuring our web pages. So as I said, with Windows, you always have to wait and wait and wait for systems to get configured. With Linux, they go a little bit faster. So at this level, you just need to exercise some little patience, grab a couple of glass of water and drink, but don't lose concentration while you wait for your installation to get completed. Okay, finally our installation was completed. We click on close. That's all. We are finished with the installation. When we finish now, you discover that we started with two of these boxes. Now we are having three of these boxes. Which of them added? We have IIS that added and file and storage services that added. These two added. Okay, so we have, when you finish and you have these four boxes, then you are good to go. All right, now we have installed it. How do we configure our website inside Windows? You go down, you open to your Explorer, you open to your File Explorer, you go to this PC. We are looking for drive C. That's what we are looking for. Now this is drive C that we are looking for. You open drive C. This is this init pub like this. This init pub like this is, it is the particular folder where your browser has been installed, where your server has been installed, excuse me please. That is the folder where your server has been installed. So we open the folder, server is installed inside this folder, inside www root. Now when you install your server, there is a default web page that is available inside Microsoft. Can we see that default web page? This is the default web page. Can we see what is there? Yes, we can see what is there. If we want to see what is there, we come to our EC2 instance, we copy our public IP and we paste. When we copy our public IP and we paste here, we click enter. You see, this is what is there. This is the web page that is found inside that folder that I just showed you. The web page is just a caricature of a lady sitting inside, holding a laptop in her hands. Where can we see this image of this lady and all this information? It is found inside here. If you open these documents, you will see this is the lady. This is a PNG file. This is the photo, and then this is the site. Okay, this is the photo of that lady, and then this is the site. It's a simple PNG photo. You can open it. Okay, that's the photo. I've opened the photo here. This is a photo. It's a simple photo of a lady. So we are not interested in this photo. Now we want to configure our site. We want to configure our site. We delete all these initial pages that are there. They have gone away. Now we create a notepad. You know that you can create a web page in notepad. Let's create a web page in notepad, please. I open a notepad. Is this an internal notepad or an external notepad? You know there's an internal one for Windows. Make sure that you are inside Windows. Come here. Then you type notepad. Okay, this is the notepad inside the machine that we have just created. This is a notepad inside the machine that we have just created. Now, inside this notepad, how can I make this notepad to become, how will I make this notepad to become a web page? I will press Control horizontal V. You see the V that came out. When I press Control horizontal V, the next thing I'll press is one, no, hyphen, / H1, then Control closing V or Shift. Look at what I've pressed, please. Control horizontal, this V that is lying down, open, H1, closed. Okay. Now, when we open this, what are we going to put there? When this is open, you can put anything inside here. Whatever comes here is going to feature in your web page. Whatever you put here is going to feature in your web page. Let us write our AWS page. Our AWS page is up and running. Our AWS page is up and running. Okay. How do we close our page? Benz, please, can you mute? Thank you very much. How do we close our page? We are going to close our page by having the same thing there. Control V, and then hyphen H1, Control V, close. The H should be in small letters. So look at what we have done. Control V, or Shift please, H1, and then we have at the end slash H1, and we finish. Okay. The next thing now, after writing all these, is to save. We have a page which is going to present or have the output. Our AWS page is up and running. So how do we save this? We have just opened Notepad inside that inside this computer that we created there. So we go to save, file, save, and then when it comes to save, you always save as index dot html. That's how you save, and then you change the save type. Save type should be all files. Now you have set we have said you always save as index.html, and you always change your save type to all files. Where do you save now? Where do you keep the file? You're going to keep the file in that same folder where we opened our where we installed our saver. Where is the folder found? The folder is found in this PC. It is certainly found in C drive. We are going to navigate up to the place where the folder is found. It is found in this PC. It is going to be found in C drive. So we need the C drive to get open. Okay, the C drive gets open. We open the C drive. When we open the C drive, we have init pop. We take init pop, and then we come down to www root. We open www root, and then here is where we store our file. There's nothing already existing here. We put save, and we exit. Now that we have saved our file there, this is our file index.html. We have saved our file. Can we come out now? When we entered the public IP of that computer, we had this page that presented. Let us refresh the site and see what is going to come. Now you see what is coming there. Our AWS page is up and running. If I give you this public IP, you are going to see this very thing that I'm seeing. Anybody that has this public IP is going to see this website that I've just created. Okay, that means that what I have just created a website and I've just hosted it in the Windows machine in AWS. Okay, now you can create very good fancy web pages using very good applications and all the like, but this is how you are going to host it. I know there are going to be a lot of questions about how you are going to have your DNS. How do websites come with www.this.com and not the public IP address? All those questions, I know you have them, but I doubt if anybody can still speak. Can anybody speak? Can anybody try to speak? Benz, what is really happening to your to your system? What really is happening to your system? When you unmute to speak, I can get noise, but I cannot get you talk. So the situation is really, really poor. Barton, you keep going in and out. The situation of network in Bamenda is that. Barton, are you with us? Can you unmute? Is Barton with us? I doubt. All right. It has been a challenging evening with from your end. Yes, Barton, you have unmuted.
Pardon?
Were you getting us?
Yeah, I was following up. I was following up.
Okay. Just that
But
you
you keep, when you're talking, it's breaking. So I'm just following up and I'll look the videos after, like I did the other time.
Okay, and when you watch the videos, is there a problem? Because when you watch the videos and have issues when they come to class, the first thing is that you should ask questions that you are unable to do. Okay, this is a lot of practicals that we have done here now, and I'm not going to go ahead until all of you practice and perform all these things, which means we are going to start from somebody to somebody to somebody. Okay, we are going to start from the Don himself, somebody that has already done it, and we know that he can do it. So we are going to start from Benz, who is going to be presenting to us tomorrow, and he is going to share his screen and present. After Ben's present, I think we are going to have Declan who is going to present. So Benz, you are going to try and make sure that that issue with your mic is resolved as soon as possible. Can you go on the chat and tell us what is happening and if you are okay to present tomorrow? Because we can't go ahead with you guys when you guys are not presenting. Doesn't make sense. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to have Benz do his presentation, and then Declan, you are going to do your own presentation too tomorrow. So you make sure you follow up, and if time permits us, Barton will do his own presentation, and then Adija does her own presentation. So everybody is going to present on how to configure a Linux machine and a Windows machine. How to configure the server in Linux and in Windows. I want to see everybody present that. Okay. So it has been a challenging evening for you guys, but I'm sure you followed up, and I'm sure you are going to watch the videos closely and concisely and get everything that has been said. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. I just intend to make these videos 1 hour so that they should not be too much heavy for us. So see you guys tomorrow and prepare very well for your presentation, because your presentation are what is going to earn you marks. So please prepare very well for your presentation. See you tomorrow. Good night. Good night, everybody. Yeah, you can come to the forum and continue the discussion there. Let us hear you, because in class we could not hear you. So you can continue the discussion in the forum.